everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Love for Intuitive Astrology. So, for everyone who's new, my name is Michelle. I'm an intuitive astrologer. I combine my knowledge of astrology with my intuition, and this will be reflected in this video. So, today I'm going to talk about the upcoming month of April 2026. And I'm going to start off with explaining this month in general. We're going to look at the aspects and then we're going to dive into all the signs. Now, most accurate is your rising sign, but for additional information, you can also check your sun sign and your moon sign, okay? And for all the signs, I will also pull a card and bring in some intuitive messages forward. So let's have a look at this month of April 2026. I changed my setup a little bit because I got a good tip from a client that said, maybe the charts look a little bit small. So I made them a little bit bigger. So I hope it's much easier to follow like this, right? Some people are more visual and some people want to listen to the messages. So right now you can actually choose. So on the 1st or 2nd of April 2026, we're going to have a full moon that will happen in the sign of Libra. And it will happen at 12 degrees and 21 minutes. And let's understand what a full moon means in Libra. Libra is the sign of balance, right? So Libra needs everything to be balanced and in equilibrium. So if one of the two sides is more up or more down, out of balance, things need to be restored. Okay, that's very often why very often Libra is related to relationships, right? You want things to be in balance to make it work. It's just like breathing. We breathe in and we breathe out. We give and we receive. And if this is in balance, a relationship can work, right? Like a friendship, a romantic relationship, a business partnership, working with clients, right? They pay and you receive. So there's a fair exchange happening. So this is what Libra is all about. And also, if things are out of balance, there is some type of justice happening, right? Because when the scales are equal, there is equality and there is no need of justice. But if things are out of balance, things need to be restored. So this would be the general theme of this full moon, right? To restore injustice, restore imbalances in relationships. And we have the opposite sign, right? We're in Aries season here. And Aries is more about your identity. And it would be, the whole axis is about me versus the other person. So, how can we make that work without losing ourselves? And, with Saturn in Aries as well, you are now being triggered at how much do I lose myself in relationships? Am I giving too much? Am I receiving too much? So, this is a time to restore that balance and to see how to make a fair exchange. And I'm not talking just about transactional exchanges, right? But to restore the balance. And that can even happen, for example, you want to restore the balance in your home, you want to restore the balance in your friendships. So we're going to see where this full moon in Libra is going to be for you when we check all the signs, okay? So this full moon is in a T-square, okay? So we have this opposition of the full moon, and then it's both the sun and the moon are in a square with Jupiter, and Jupiter is now direct in Cancer. So this is a beautiful alignment. Now, what happens is when we have a square, we usually find it difficult to have a balance. So we either go too much into one side or in too much into another side, okay? Also with opposition. So we have to kind of make this work. Now, this T-square is about balance again, okay? Restoring the balance and using the wisdom of Jupiter, because it's in a water sign, of our intuition, wisdom maybe of your family, right? Ruled by the moon, maybe of your mother, that can recommend you how to restore the situation in your life, okay? So for some of you, there will be even results in some kind of legal matter that is going on for you. We have Mercury, luckily now direct, right? March was not so easy with the retrograde. It created a lot of confusion, But things are going to go a lot, I wouldn't say faster, right? Because we have Saturn and Mars for most of the month, which we're going to explain very, very soon. But we have Mercury trining Jupiter here. So you are much more in touch with your emotions here during this full moon. And let yourself be guided, let yourself be advised by your family, by females in your life, or just by your own intuition. Okay. So don't just make decisions with your brain, because Mercury is in Pisces, right? This is a water element, and water element is about feeling things. We also have Venus square Pluto. Now, Venus here is very strong, right? It is fixed sign of Taurus. And when it's in a square with Pluto, it becomes quite intense. It becomes about power struggles. It is about, right? If we look at Venus, we look at love, we look at money, we look at creativity. And Pluto wants to transform things. It wants to bring to the surface all these uncomfortable feelings that we're kind of shoving away, that we don't want to see about ourselves, right? And I know all about this aspect. I was born with this aspect, and I really had to dive deep within my psyche and my insecurities and everything to see why in the past my relationships didn't work, why I choose certain people that weren't actually so good for me. And the answer was that deep down, I didn't think I deserved that kind of love, right? And after working on my self love, after working on my boundaries and everything, I realized that yes, I do deserve that type of love. And I decided that I'm not going to accept anything but that what I want. And that's when it came, okay? So this is what this square wants you to do. It wants to take out all the insecurities regarding money, regarding relationships, okay? And Pluto, because it's taking to the surface whatever is in the underworld, sometimes it's something happening in your current relationship, right? Like love triangles, there can be some jealousy, and if that is, sometimes jealousy is coming from actually not trusting the other person, or it comes from your own wounding. So these things can come up, and I think it's so good and so interesting to do our own shadow work. So don't be afraid of this placement. It's just going to show you the uncomfortable side of ourselves, and that can lead to a lot of healing. Now, we have a conjunction with Saturn, with the Sun, and in an opposition with the Moon, but it's not very tight conjunction, okay? So we're not going to feel it very, very strongly. It was more by the end of March that you feel that. But now it's still present, okay? And Saturn definitely does want you to take responsibility. So whatever situation that is going on, when it comes to love, when it comes to imbalance, right? Because Libra is also about relationships, about love. The people you meet now, just make sure that they are what they say. And any imbalance in your relationships or anything that comes up, yeah, make sure to face them. And also, this Sun and Saturn sometimes can really also present difficulty with father or with authority figures. Now we have a new moon in the sign of Aries. Okay, we're gonna have a stellium in Aries, so it's gonna be quite intense. On the 17th of April, this is gonna be at 27 degrees and 20, I wrote 28, 29, 28 minutes. And this is very frustrating, right? Because we have Aries first house. I want to explore. I don't want to think, right? Aries is not really about planning. I'm just gonna see where it takes me. I want to be led by my inner passion, my inner fire, right? This is where the hero is created, because the hero doesn't think too much. It's like, I'm just going to act in the moment. But here, Saturn is in a conjunction with Mars, with Mercury, with Neptune. And then we have Chiron in a conjunction with this new moon. Okay. So we're going to have this weird feeling of, I want to do a lot of things. I don't know where to start. Neptune and Mercury sometimes can lead to some miscommunication, and we can get angry about it because of Mars. And then Saturn is like, but wait a minute, take a step back and make a plan. Prepare yourself, right? Prepare what you want to say. So you can see how this is a very bit of a confusing energy. This new moon is with Chiron, and Chiron is the wounded healer. This is where we heal others, or we sometimes it's subconscious, right? Like when I talk to my clients, they don't really realize how they come across. Like Chiron can be very soothing for other people. It's almost like you understand them because you have that wound yourself, right? Very often we cannot help other people if we haven't been through a certain situation. For example, if you have a certain addiction, and um, the people who help others are usually people who have been through the same addiction, because it's not so easy when to help other people when you actually have um wait when you actually haven't been through that situation yourself. Okay. So when it's in Aries, this is about leadership. This is about, um, what is holding you back as well? Or do you feel like you have to wear a certain mask to get where you want to be? So these questions will come up, and there will be a little bit of frustration, maybe even miscommunication with people, but it's also a really big lesson for growth. And if you can be patient, if you can be daring all at the same time, you can make these energies work for you. Okay. Um, so we also have Venus in Taurus, and now it's not in a square with Pluto anymore. So much better, right? And this is in a loose conjunction with Uranus, so it's quite nice. Maybe you have some creative ideas how to make more money. In general, a very creative aspect, so good for art, yeah, financial business. Maybe you come up with a new system on how to make money or how to create art if you're into photography or into the food industry, right? If you're a good chef, you might be coming up with new recipes, new meals, all these kind of things. So very, very positive. Then we have another big transit that I want to cover in this video. So I'm going to do that also for all the signs. I know I have a separate video, but I think it's quite important. It's going to be a lot of years, right? That we're going to have Uranus moving in the sign of Gemini. We already had this energy for a bit, but it's going to stay there now until the 22nd of May, 2033. And, Uranus is doing quite well in an air sign, but it's also very restless because air signs, especially Gemini, right, ruled by Mercury, it will create a lot of, yeah, like I said, like restless energy, overthinking, but also brilliant, brilliant ideas. Because, you know, if you have Mercury in Gemini, and I'm sure if there's no harsh aspects with this Mercury, you're gonna have a very quick brain, okay? Um, and especially if you have that in your natal chart, you're gonna be highly impacted by this placement. Technological development. So we have here Uranus. Uranus is all about the future, right? This is about, I want to improve the future. And how do we make changes for the future? To break a system or to make changes, to be a rebel, to be daring, right? If we don't change anything, the future will not change. And sometimes people are so afraid to step outside of the box to actually make that happen, right? So we see that people with a very Uranian influence, they are the ones that are going the other way. Everyone is going right, and you're going to go left. And this is where change is happening. Okay. So fantastic new ideas. We're going to see a lot of innovation. Gemini rules the third house. This is also about transportation. So we're going to see innovations with transportation, communication platforms, right? Third house is about communication. This is about studying, the way we learn. So we're going to see some development there. We also have Pluto in Aquarius, right? Ruled by Uranus. So it will go maybe a bit far sometimes, the technological advances. Like, is this actually good for us or is it not good for us? And what Pluto does is it will show you extremes. So eventually you can find like a midway that is empowering instead of taking your power away, right? Like, Imagine using AI for everything. It takes our power away. So then we have to find a new way. So different ways of traveling, because third house is about traveling. So I wrote virtual reality. Maybe people are going to travel with virtual reality. Yeah, I don't like that very much because I think our Earth is very beautiful. But yeah, that are ways that displacement can act very restless energy, but also research and innovation. So we're going to see a lot of progress in research. We're going to see a lot of advancements, maybe ways to heal ourselves. On the downside, it can lead to a bit of anxiety, right? When we have a very big emphasis on air signs, air, we breathe air, right? So it will tighten the chest. It might be overthinking. So make sure to meditate and, to do a lot of meditation when it comes to breathing. That's going to help you settle things down, okay? And also write things down for later. Like you cannot do everything at the same time, right? So I'm ready to go to all the signs. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's have a look at your upcoming month for the month of April 2026. So on the 1st or 2nd of April, depending on your location, 2026 at 12 degrees, there's going to be a full moon in the sign of Libra, which is going to be in your 7th house. 7th house is all about relationships. This could be business partnerships. This could be romantic relationships. And it's really a time where you're going to see what can be restored when it comes to relationships, right? We have Saturn in the 1st house. So here it's about you tuning into or refining your identity, your authenticity. And sometimes when you change, your relationships change as well, right? Because you might be reconsidering where are your boundaries, what are you willing to accept? And you're going to redefine that. Okay. So this is about responsibility. But on the other hand, if you're not on the right path, sometimes it can bring in restriction, which makes you realign with the right goals. Okay. So yeah, but it can also be a time where you're meeting someone new. Okay. A new relationship might be entering in your life. We have this full moon in a square with Jupiter in the 4th house. So it could be an introduction through family, someone introducing you to someone new. Um, your family might be giving you some advice about your relationship, or even vice versa. Your relationship, the person you're with might be giving you advice about your family. Moving. So you could be moving in with your partner, you're moving together to a new place, and this place might be, you need some time to settle in a little bit, right? Sometimes a new place can give literally a new identity, and that takes time to settle. Now we have Mercury in the 12th house in a trine with Jupiter in the 4th. So this is a very spiritual time. If you're on the spiritual path, this is a beautiful time to align with your ancestors, to do some type of meditation, to connect with them, just to meditate in general. Because when we have Jupiter in the 4th house, it's about connecting to our roots. So maybe you want to go back to your roots, back to where you came from, or you just want to reconnect with yourself. And when you reconnect with yourself, you really bring more balance into your relationships. Okay, so they all come in alignment. And we first have to start with the base, right? And when the base is strong, it's just like the chakras. When the first chakra is strong, the rest can align above them. So you are creating new roots, may that be physically or that can be internally, that you're reconnecting with yourself. Now we have Venus in a square with Pluto. So Venus is in Taurus, very strong there in your 2nd house, but it's squaring Pluto in the 11th. So be a bit aware of manipulations, like maybe friends or communities are trying to ask money from you, and you have to decide if that's something you want to give or not. Okay. Because Pluto here can give power struggles, manipulation, and you could be in a situation where you're very uncomfortable, where you have to pay more. So make sure that you stand up for yourself and you value your money and you see what it is that you want to do with it, and not letting other people decide that for you. We have the sun in a loose conjunction with Saturn in the first house. Like I said already a little bit, um, it can feel a bit heavier. You could have more responsibilities, but also it is going to be the time where you're going to grow the most. Okay, you're going to grow like never before. And very, very soon, Mars is also going in your sign. So you're going to have a little bit more energy as well. So let's go to this new moon, which is going to be in your sign, in the sign of Aries at 27 degrees. So on the 17th of April. So Aries, if you're born around this time or you have any planets around 27 degrees, you will be highly impacted by this new moon. Okay. And as you can see here, we have Mars in Aries, but yeah, it's in a conjunction with Saturn. And these two have very different agendas because Mars is about action, passion, aggression. Let's move forward, especially in the first house, gives you a lot of energy. And Saturn is like, yeah, but you need a plan. And Aries is not, this energy of Aries is not about, depending on the rest of your chart, but in general, this energy is not so much about planning. It's more about taking action in the moment and just listening to your gut and going after what it is that you're sensing. Okay. But here you need a little bit more of a plan. And if you're not careful, right, if you're going to do too much, not listening to your intuition, your body, and everything, there could be some accidents. Okay. Usually I relate accidents more to Mars Uranus, what I've seen, but Mars Saturn can cause that if you're really taking too much action, overworking, overgiving, and not listening to what your body actually needs. Okay, so this is all about your identity. Who are you? How you can grow in life? What is Saturn trying to teach you? Okay, because sometimes it can feel heavy, but Saturn is the harsh teacher. And if you know its agenda and what it actually wants, it's a lot easier. Okay. Yeah, what are you too shy for to show the world? Like sometimes we're being held back because there's something that can be optimized, or something, if you read more into something, you become more of a master. Okay, so this is what, for example, Saturn could be teaching you, and it comes from your inner perspective first. So how can you become a better leader in your life, right? And that doesn't always mean that you have to be like a boss of a big company. Like if you have kids, you have to be a good leader as well, right? So it doesn't matter the situation, but it's time to go after what it is that you want in the most authentic way. We have Venus in a conjunction with Uranus there in the second house. So there could be unexpected money coming in. Could be going out with Uranus because it's expect the unexpected kind of planet. But no, it can most likely be income or ideas on how to make more income. Okay, maybe you have some really creative ideas, especially if you're working online. Uranus is closing down its chapter in Uranus in the second house. Okay, so it might be giving you actually some rewards, some last lessons there when it comes to your money, your self-worth, and how to be creative with it, right? Because Uranus is very detached. It's not a very attached planet. It wants to detach. So the more you detach and you don't care about the money itself, the more it's going to come, probably. So we're gonna have Uranus in Gemini. Like I said, it during this new moon, it was all about rounding up its lessons in the second house, and now we have it in the third house up until the 22nd of May 2033. So that's gonna be a very long time. So in the third house, it's really going to help you with creative ideas. You're gonna really think outside of the box. You're gonna come with unexpected things that people are like, wow, how did you even think about that? Okay. Yeah, you might be the one that actually is helping a lot with technological advancement. Like this is very good if you're some kind of coder, or you're doing something with machines or computers, engineering, technology, architecture. You're gonna have this ability to think outside of the box. This is also good for writing, anything outside of the box as well. And you can be quite shocking to people with the way you speak. You might be saying shocking things that actually is going to change a lot of things, change the way people think, change the way people speak. Okay. Um, but it can create a very restless mind. So make sure that you do a lot of journaling to calm your mind down. Unexpected trips could be happening, so unexpectedly going. And the third house more about short trips, so within your own country or state, because the U.S. is quite a big place. So yeah, unexpected trips could be coming up. You might be really interested in gathering informations, visiting museums, right? Just follow your curiosity. That is my recommendation to you. Now let me get you a card, Aries. Okay, new career. Some of you are thinking about a new career. This is what Saturn can do in the first house, right? It can align you with a new identity. And with this new identity, maybe there is a new job involved, okay? Maybe you're moving for a job, literally. Saturn rules also your 10th house. For a lot of you, walk away. Leave the unhealthy situation and enjoy the new doors that open as a result. Did I show the other card? I'm not sure. I did actually show that. New career. So it's time to walk away from something that is no longer serving you. And I always say, don't listen to my timings. Okay, this is a general reading. Always listen to your intuition. When is the right time to walk away from something? May it be a relationship, may it be a job. Yeah, could be an unhealthy situation with a boss. And to live more according to your authenticity, right? Sometimes that's very difficult. Um, I myself had to leave the company life because I became too sensitive to be in this environment, and that's okay. Like sometimes we become a new person and there's a new life attached to that, and it can be very uncomfortable to change things according to where we are now, okay? But be open to it. And you might be surprised what might be behind these new doors that are going to open for you. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Aries. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support my channel, subscribe to it. I also do private readings. So you find my email in the description box below. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much, Aries. Let's move on to Taurus. So this is for everyone who has Taurus, Sun, and Rising. So we're starting off with this full moon in Libra on the 1st or 2nd of April, depending on your location, at 12 degrees and 21 minutes. And for you, this is going to be in your 6th house. And like I said in the introduction, Libra is all about balance. This is about justice. This is about restoring the balance. So anything that is out of balance needs to be restored around this time. So we're looking at the 6th house, at your routines. Are your routines healthy according to what your body is able to handle? Do you need to change your diet? Do you need to rest more? We have the Sun and Saturn in your 12th house. Maybe your body needs more rest. And it's okay if that's the case to rest a little bit more and to listen to what your body needs. So here you're going to find this balance between taking action during the routines, but also respecting your body, right? And we have a square, a T square, right? We have this full moon in a square with Jupiter in the 3rd house. So there could be some breakthrough communications happening with your colleagues, some things that change everything. You might be even talking to someone that helps you with your diet, fitness instructor, okay? Could be even your sibling that might be giving you some advice on how to change things at work, right? This is also about your work situation. How can you make that more balanced? A trip for work, going on a trip for work, and really just seeing things from a different perspective and how you can finish work or maybe be more efficient in your work as well. A new study for work could be coming up, and yeah, wanting to soak up more knowledge to increase your perspectives of jobs. We have Mercury in your 11th house, trining Jupiter in the third. So conversations with your friends can really help you. Maybe they want to give you certain advices, or just talking to them is going to open up certain almost like gateways, almost like directions for you. Okay, so they could give you some really good advice, or maybe you're bringing your friends along buying a new car. Like some of you want to buy a new car so you can be more efficient in your routines as well. We have Venus square Pluto. So Venus is in your sign, in its own sign, in the first house, and it's in a square with Pluto. So definitely for you, there's a lot of changes happening in the work situation. Like for example, if work is difficult right now with Pluto in the 10th house, difficulty with bosses or anything, sometimes we take it personal. And what Venus is trying to tell you here is that you don't need to change your identity, your core identity, to fit in at work or to please the boss or anything, right? Like you can make a compromise, but or even to just reach something. Like for example, you want to reach a certain goal and you give up your health or you give up your identity to get there. Now it's time to rebalance that and to restore that. Okay. um we have the Sun and Saturn in a loose conjunction in your 12th house. So, a good, because there's so much energy, right? And we're also going to have this new moon in Aries on the 17th of April, also all in your 12th house. So, I just want to recommend that it would be good for you to do some kind of sports behind the scenes, like martial arts, yoga. 12th house is more about sports that flow through you. Okay. You could be walking in nature, anything, but just to keep moving, but not in an extreme way. Not like super action, because you're gonna see that suddenly your energy will be gone around this new moon in Aries. Okay, when your season is starting, you will get definitely some of your energy back, and especially a month after, when Mars is going to be, when Mars is going in your sign. So, but we have Venus there in the first house in a conjunction with Uranus, and Venus is not in a square with Pluto anymore. That is more or less up until the 8th of April. Okay. And yeah, for you, that was in the workplace, but now it's about further identity. And Taurus likes to take care of themselves. So maybe you want to cook for yourself, you want to buy some new clothes, you just want to spoil yourself a little bit, okay? And that's totally fine. So this is something you might want to do around this new moon, okay? We also have a conjunction. This moon is in a conjunction with Chiron, which is pretty major. This is about healing maybe insecurities about your identity, which can be coming from past lives, because the 12th house is very often coming from your past life. Okay, this is the feelings that you don't understand about yourself. It's like, I'm feeling weird, but I don't know why, or I have certain phobias and I don't know why I have those phobias. And it's very often related to past lives. And, I know it's hard to understand and to grasp, but if you're doing meditation long enough, you will start to see your past lives. And if you're lucky, some of your past life you can track back. It's really fun. I've done it myself. Like I started looking back on certain sources of history, and you can actually track that. So that's really fun to do. So if you're into like hypnosis, past life regression, those kind of things, you can restore a lot of that energy. And especially with Aries in the 12th house, very often people who have that, also depending where Mars is placed, right? But there was some kind of warrior energy in the past that is still within you. You can't grasp it. There is some kind of warrior, but it doesn't fully come out, okay, with Aries there in the 12th house, unless you have a strong Mars somewhere else. We have Uranus in your second house from the 26th of April. Pretty major, right? Because we're going to have that up until the 22nd of May 2033. And it's in the second house now. So it went from your first house where you Taurus were a little bit of a rebel, trying different paths, seeing what suits you best. And now it's going to go to your second house of self-worth, of money. And Uranus is quite detached. It's more about, it wants to connect with other people, with the masses, right? And in this communicative sign, maybe you're making money online or through something scientific. So it's not so much about the money, it's more about conveying a certain message, okay? Or doing something for the greater good. So you might change jobs according to that. Like, I want to do something that means something. I want to be more detached. I want to, not have a predictable routine. I just want to make money. I want to be independent. Some people are going to be self-employed or work remotely. And it's really about thinking outside of the box. Also, when it comes to making money, to make money, okay? Um, Less attachment to money. Sometimes unexpected money coming in and suddenly going out. Okay, there will be more up and down flow of money, and the more detached you are, the more it can just act naturally. Okay, if you attach fear to it, because Aquarius isn't, Gemini as well, by the way, but Uranus rules Aquarius is more about, it's airy. So don't take it too hard. Let it flow the way it wants to. Okay. And then it definitely can give you the money that you want. Let me get you a card. I'm getting walk away. So for some of you, you're leaving an unhealthy situation, for example. This could be a job for you. This could be leaving an old version of yourself when it comes to your health, right? Because we have the full moon in the sixth house and working on our subconscious, unconscious emotions by spending some time alone, okay? Easy does it. Sometimes we try so hard, and when we try so hard it's not working. When we detach and we follow our heart and do something what we love, it's easier. So I get this card, easy does it. Stop trying so hard to control everything and all the doors will open for you. Like, sometimes we want to have everything set, right? And I see that so much with my clients, that they come to me and they want me to predict everything. Like, which color hair is my future partner gonna have, or which and of course everyone wants to know these kind of things, but it's actually not the most important. And sometimes I even if I would see the future like intuitively, or astrology wise, I still like to give a broader timing, because if we're gonna be so precise, we're gonna expect it, and sometimes when we so force things, it's not happening. So I always want to keep things open, and I want to give an energy of activation in people so they open up for the right opportunities. Okay, sometimes we just need a bit of space. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Taurus. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to support my channel, subscribe to it. Leave a comment below how this resonates with you. I'm also thinking about making some more videos, and I would love to know if you have some ideas for me on what I can make videos about. Like, I would love to hear from you. So thank you so much for being here, and until next time. Let's move on to Gemini. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So for you, we start off with Aries season in your 11th house, and right away on the 1st or 2nd of April, depending on your location, we have this full moon at 12 degrees in your 5th house. Now, this is a beautiful alignment, right? This is great for romance. This is great for creativity. Libra is ruled by Venus, so that's a beautiful placement for the 5th house to do any kind of creative project. Now, we do have Saturn there with the Sun in a loose conjunction. So if you want to publish anything that you're doing, it might take you a bit more time to get the audience. So for example, if you want to do something on social media, it might take a little bit of time for people to see the real you, because Saturn in Aries is sometimes restricting you a little bit to get out a more authentic version. So you're working on being more authentic in the public or with your friends. And it doesn't mean that you're not, okay? Because it only holds back or teaches when the person is not there yet, okay? If you are already there, you won't feel it as much. Same with your friends, it will be tested. It's gonna be a little bit of a test, like who's your real friend and who is not. Like Saturn likes solid, realistic, grounded friendships. So long lasting friendships, but maybe some people will go in this period, okay? Now, this full moon is in a square. This is a T square with Jupiter in the second house. So, yeah, you might have more money coming in through your creative projects, through your hard work that will yeah, increase your income. You might have some new ideas on having income. Now there's a square, right? So sometimes it can also mean overspending on creative projects. And the fifth house is also about your children. So spending a lot of money on your children. Maybe you're dating, spending a lot of money for dinners, for your dates. Also a time for conception. So pregnancy, things like that. Okay. Mercury is in the 10th house in a trine with the second house. So you might be getting a lot more new deals. So if you're self employed, you might be getting more clients, more money. A new job as well could be on the cards for you, or just in general, good ideas on how the company can make more money, or if you're doing any job with commissions, you can definitely see an increase there. Okay. Venus is squaring Pluto. So Venus is in your 12th house and it's squaring Pluto in the ninth. So it's really triggering your belief systems. Okay. So if you're traveling, a certain trip might really shift your idea, shift what you believe about the world, what you believe about spirituality in general. That will be triggered with Pluto in the ninth house. Okay. This can also be a past life love coming in that triggers certain lessons, okay? This could be related to a bit of jealousy, intensity, power struggles, things like that. So make sure that you set good boundaries, right? Testing your boundaries in alignment with your morality, because the ninth house wants you to stick to ethics and be moral, right? When we see certain planets in the ninth house, if they're in a good position, strong position, you will see people have a lot of moral. But if it's afflicted or something, sometimes people trying to make their own ethics and their own moral systems. Okay. Um, yeah, so real friends and community over superficial ones. We're going to have a new moon in the sign of Aries, which will be on the 17th of April at 27 degrees, also in your 11th house. So a lot of focus there. You're definitely going to find out a lot about your friends. There might be some miscommunication with Mercury, Neptune, and Mars. Um, and we have Saturn. Okay, so any type of miscommunication, it can bring up some insecurities within yourself, even like, am I seeing this right? Is this going well? What is going on? So, a lot of shifts in your community, and you have to see if that community is still in alignment with your authenticity. Okay. Then we have Venus in Taurus in the 12th house. So relaxing at home. Taurus is very earthy. So maybe have some nature walks, enjoying the nature. Yeah, and some good ideas, creativity. Maybe you want to cook for yourself or you want to do something creative, but you're going to do it for yourself to connect with yourself. Then we have Uranus in your sign. So this is pretty major, Gemini. It's going to change a lot of things for you. It will be from the 26th of April 2026 until the 22nd of May 2033. It's in the first house of identity. So a lot of sudden shifts might happen. Okay. Now it changes if it's the moon, the sun, or your ascendant. But the sun can bring, because the sun is your identity, so shifts in identity, just like the first house, kind of. but it can also be changes with father, with authority figures, okay? With males in your life, sudden shifts. With moon, it will be females, okay? Your emotions. So you might feel like your emotions are shifting quickly. So you might be feeling angry and then that disappears very quickly, okay? But in general, great time for new ideas, a new direction in life, and maybe just trying new directions. You want to kind of be open because Uranus is very detached. Okay, trying different paths, see which one is best. Who would you like to be in the future? What do you want to become? These questions might arise, okay? Giving a bit of restless energy, you might be feeling more of a rebel, okay? So you want to break certain systems by sticking to your truth, okay? And maybe you want to try different kind of friend groups. Maybe you're changing and you're like, your friend groups change with that, right? So let me get you a card. This is so beautiful, actually. This card is amazingly aligning with what we just talked about. Be yourself. So Uranus is challenging you to be more of yourself, okay? Express your individuality. I don't think we could have had more perfect cards aligning with what is going on, with what is going on in your chart, okay? And then we get patience, please, because it's such a restless energy that maybe you're going too fast sometimes. So make sure that you um, take it one step at a time, okay? But be free, explore this freedom about yourself, your identity, your emotions, and let it reveal. Um, yeah, it's not really solid, Uranus. It's more about being in the moment and allowing things to unfold and to be shown to you. Okay. So that would be my message for you, my lovely Gemini. Thank you so much for being here. I want to make new videos for the upcoming time. So if you can help me out, say in the comments what kind of videos you would like to see. So I can be working on those videos. I had a bit of a break because I'm a little bit in an introvert time where I'm doing more of studying, but I would like to make new videos of natal placements and things like that. So if you can help me out and things you want to hear about, um, I would love to hear from you, Gemini. So thank you so much for being here, and until next time. So let's move on to Cancer. So Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We have this full moon that will happen on the 1st or 2nd of April, depending on your sign. We're going to have that in your 4th house, okay? And this is about your family. This is about your roots. So here you want to see more balance. And when your root, your 4th house is balanced, all the other things can flow more easily, right? Because you have Saturn in the 10th house together with the sun and with Chiron. So there is a lot of changes that are happening in the workplace. Like some of you will see either a lot of responsibility, some of you will be restricted from finding a job or having a difficult boss, which is going to change your perspective, okay? And you need to be rooted within yourself, strong within yourself. So any imbalance that is happening in the family, um now that can now that can be restored. Maybe you want to redecorate your home, um if that is helpful to you, right, to have more balance. And we have this T square, so this full moon is in a square with Jupiter in the 1st house, which give you this optimism. Your intuition is very strong, Cancer, very strong. We also have Mercury in a trine with Jupiter, so a trip can give you a new perspective on where you would like to go in life. Because Jupiter in the 1st house really expands and give you new insights. It gives you optimism, which makes you contagious for other people. That's why Jupiter in the 1st house can often bring in new jobs, new relationships. Like you will have this sunny and magnetic look. Okay. So this is not so much about forcing things, This is about going with the flow, okay? So a new study, maybe you're into a spiritual study with Pisces in the ninth house. Your belief system is very strong, so you have strong faith, which is going to get you through maybe the more difficult times when it comes to work, okay? So spirituality, traveling, learning something new, um, maybe a complete new life path or a move is happening. We have Venus in Taurus, right, in its own sign in your 11th house, but it's squaring with Pluto in the 8th house. So there could be some jealousy among friends or among your community. It's not a time to spill the beans, okay, to spill your secrets, because they will be gossiped or shared with people outside of your friend group or in your friend group. So make sure to keep it kind of with yourself, okay? Because you're going through massive transformations with Pluto in the 8th house. And you're shredding skin, and make sure to share that with the right people. Also, there could be a friend that wants more from you. Just make sure that you're on the same page, so to speak. We have, well, Saturn and the Sun in the 10th house. So, like I said, difficult bosses or a difficult working environment. And we also have, yep, we have this new moon in Aries on the 17th of April at 27 degrees. All this energy, this stellium in Aries is in your 10th house. So, some miscommunications in the workplace. Um, some restrictions, maybe you have to slow things down, restart something. It's not a time for fast movement. It's a time for strategic planning and taking things one step at a time. And it can create some insecurities because things might take longer than you expected it to be, and it can give you some frustration, okay, that it's not going as fast as you would like it to go. But it's going to help you if you have some kind of plan and understand that Chiron here is just healing you and helping you explore what is your identity in the workplace and how can you stay true to yourself instead of overgiving maybe or undergiving to, try to maybe control the situation or control a certain outcome, because right now it's just about taking it one step at a time and have a strong routine to make things happen. Okay, I can tell that maybe this can be a little bit of a difficult time at work, but your Jupiter in the first house is helping you make big changes. Okay. Venus is exalted and in a loose conjunction with Uranus in your 11th house. So, where you had problems with friends maybe before, that is disappeared because the Pluto square is gone now. So, if you want to just have fun with friends, maybe go out, go for dinner together, just have a good time. Uranus will move in the sign of Gemini. So, this is pretty major. It's going to be up until the 22nd of May, 2033, and it's in your 12th house, okay? This is a very mystical placement, I would say, because Uranus is all about being eclectic, it's a rebel. And in the 12th house, it's kind of strange, right? Because 12th house is kind of locked. It's very difficult to access that planet unless you are channeling it, unless you're right. And this is where Kundalini comes up when we relate that to Uranus, because it's a flashing, sudden event. Okay. And I always say you don't have to be afraid if that's not something you want, unless it's in your karmic sheet, right? But you always get it when you're ready, and you don't have to force it. When you will get it naturally, like if you're doing your spiritual practice, it will come naturally, okay? And it will be most likely be less intense. And if it is like that, do a lot of meditation and a lot of grounding. You will have a bit of a restless energy, so it will be hard to sleep. So do some journaling, write things down, and because a lot of ideas might be coming up, especially if you're spending some time alone, you can have very vivid dreams, innovative ideas, but they come to you when you're by yourself. And even past life talents or ideas might be activated in the upcoming years for you. Let me get you a card, Cancer. All right. Pregnancy. So some of you are, well, literally expecting a child. This could also be related to a creative project that you're working on. Maybe you're working on something else because with Jupiter in the first house, a lot of people are gonna, they make big changes. Who do you need to forgive? So maybe there's someone in your life, like a boss or some authority, right? Saturn in the 10th house can give some difficulty with authority. But yeah, who do you need to forgive? And sometimes when we let go of the past, and it's hard, right? It's not so easy sometimes to forgive someone, and sometimes it takes a lifetime, sometimes it takes many years, and it's more for yourself. So you create space, and because this anger is gonna linger and it's gonna stay with you. And when this anger is there all the time, it's very hard to create new things in your life. So sometimes we need to have time to heal. Practice, practice, practice. So some of you are practicing something, and this is the cue to say, keep going, keep practicing your skills. Sometimes people, might laugh at it now, right? Giving you a hard time. I remember when I just started with my YouTube channel, my colleagues make fun of me and they bought dislikes for my video. And now I'm a full-time astrologer. So look who's laughing now, right? So sometimes it's other people's insecurity projected onto you, and you have to stick with yourself, right? Even though you're weird, like that doesn't matter. You do what is according to your wishes and your heart. So don't give up on your talents. Don't give up on the things that you want to do. Okay, now is the time, and Jupiter gives you this courage and this faith to make it happen. So don't let people bring you down, and go after what it is that you want to achieve in life. So that would be my message for you, my lovely Cancer. I hope that you can help me out because I would like to make some more videos on my channel. Do you have any placements that you want me to talk about, or any videos that you would like to see? You would definitely be able to help me out because yeah, I can make that happen in the upcoming month. So thank you in advance. Wishing you a lovely, lovely day, and until next time. So let's move on to Leo. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're starting off with a full moon that will happen in the sign of Libra on the 1st or 2nd of April, depending on your location, in the 3rd house. Now, Libra is all about balance, right? So here we're looking at where we can restore the balance when it comes to communication, okay? Maybe you were studying something or you want to study something new. Now we have this T square, right? We have this full moon. So the sun, you can see, is in the 9th house, and it's in a square with Jupiter in the 12th house, okay? And this is all about a trip. Maybe you're taking this trip abroad or a short trip, and it's really changing the way you see the world, and maybe your belief systems as well, right? And with Saturn in the 9th house, it can make you even a bit pessimistic sometimes. And this pessimism is going to make you do some research. And this is where a master is being born, because first you have the questions, and then you're going to do the research, and then you're going to answer the questions, right? The philosophical questions. Who am I? What am I here to do, right? Aries is about the identity. Maybe you're learning about new ways of leadership with more integrity, more that you feel more in alignment with yourself. So a new path of work, a new way of leading, a new way of teaching might develop around this time. Jupiter in the 12th house also tells you to sometimes rest, and you will get a lot of downloads and messages if you do any type of meditation. Okay. Um, Seclusion brings in new ideas. Maybe you want to buy a new car. Okay. Some of you want to buy a new yeah, new car. And we also have Jupiter in a trine with Mercury. So doing research, maybe you want to do some kind of investments. Now make sure that you do your research well, okay? And yeah, but there might be some fruits coming from those investments. You could be lucky when it comes to inheritance or money coming in at this time. And also a lot of transformation can happen because we have Pisces in the eighth house here with the North Node. We have Mercury in a trine with Jupiter in Cancer in the 12th house. So a healing of your ancestral line, that can make you feel much more complete. And when you feel calmer, when you feel like you resolving things from your life, your root and your speech is becoming a lot calmer. Okay, which is about the third house, learning and speech. We have Venus in Taurus in the 10th house in a square with Jupiter, with Pluto in the seventh. Okay. And here we see maybe some trouble with business partners. So be very careful if someone wants to collaborate around this time. There could be maybe something behind it because Pluto can be about power struggles, it can be about hidden agendas, okay? Jealousy, insecurity, and also, this could be in general regarding you, right? How maybe some insecurities might be coming up with your work, and they could be coming from maybe other people, or maybe you have a bad client that is telling you all these bad things, and they can be damaging sometimes, right? And really afflicting our self-worth because Taurus in the 10th, right? Taurus rules the second house, our self-worth. So it's about self-worth in the workplace. Maybe someone doesn't want to pay your rate, thinks you're too expensive, or doesn't take it serious what you do, and you have to give this boundary and show people, no, 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 this is my price. This is what I'm worthy of. Relationships as well. If you're meeting someone new, be very careful, okay, what they have in mind. Sun conjunct Saturn opposite moon. Yeah. So, yeah, changes of belief system. We have this new moon in Aries on the 17th of April at 27 degrees. And it's in a conjunction with Chiron. So, a lot of healing will take place in your ninth house. Okay. So, if you're doing a trip, it might be a bit of a confrontational trip. Like there might be some delays. If you're doing any type of retreat, it might be very triggering, but it will change a lot on your output and overview in life. Okay. And difficulty with studies. So if you're studying something, it might be that you need to do a resit, or you need to take a little bit longer to finish that, okay? But it's not impossible. With Saturn and Mars, it's really about one step at a time and making a good plan. Same as if you're a teacher, because the ninth house is also a mentor, a teacher, or you could have trouble with teachers, right? Yourself. But if you're a teacher, make sure that you're well prepared. Usually, Aries in the ninth house is very much about gut feeling and, speaking from the moment. But now maybe you need some preparation with all these planets in alignment. So we have Venus in Taurus in the 10th house, now not in a square with Pluto anymore. So here you will see that you will have a lot of creativity. It's in a loose conjunction with Uranus, and Uranus is finishing its lessons in the 10th house. So yeah, it could even be a new job that might be coming up. That yeah, sudden changes in the workplace, or really good ideas, especially if you are in the food industry, the financial industry. You will see a lot of positive changes there. Uranus is moving on the 26th of April in your 11th house of community, of friendships, and you will attract people around this time. So, up until the 22nd of May 2033, that are a bit out of the box, okay? You want to be with people who think differently. You could be publishing something for the public, so go on social media, and yeah, you could be seen as a bit of a rebel, right? Because Uranus is a rebel. and here it's in its own house. So it's very strong here, bringing groups together. You might have different friend groups and just want to learn and see how you can collaborate together. You might be working in groups in general, okay, or becoming kind of going to work in a humanitarian place where you can, or in a place where you can work on changing the future, joining online groups and focusing on networking. So that's going to be something that you will do. Friendships might come and go as well around this time. I'm getting vegetarian, so I always say I have no judgment. I'm not going to tell people to stop eating something because that's all up to you and each body is different. But maybe some of you want to eat less meat, less fish, less meat, or something else, right? Less cheese. Become more vegetarian. All I can say is that um, on the spiritual path, it's usually better to not eat as much meat because it will it will affect your intuition. Okay. And especially if you are in a job like me that is working with a lot of people and needing to work with my intuition, it's better to not do too much of that. Okay. Because in the meat, there is, and especially nowadays, right, with what happens in the slaughterhouses, they know there's a lot of stress there. And this stress is in the meat. So when we eat that vibrations. So, and also karmically, right? Karmically, it helps you dissolve karma faster if you want to be on the spiritual path. But like I said, it's a choice. And I don't know people's bodies, so there's no guilt into anything. Okay. I'm getting pregnancy and do some research. So some of you are planning a pregnancy. Some of you are pregnant or you're working on a creative project, right? We have Taurus season in the 10th house. So beautiful time for work. Maybe you're starting a new job and do some research. So a lot of you are doing a lot of research as well this month. Sometimes um, before we can fully start something new, with Jupiter is soon going in your sign. So maybe you're preparing for that and soaking up a lot of information right now so you can use that for the long term, which is what Saturn wants in the ninth house, right? So that would be my message for you, my amazing Leos. If you want to help me out, because I would love to make more videos for you, can you write or help me come up with videos that I can make in the upcoming month? You can leave a comment below on something that you would like to see in the upcoming time, because I've been a little bit more secluded, doing a lot of studying myself, but I'm ready to make more videos. So please let me know, and wishing you an amazing day, and until next time. So let's go to Virgo. Virgo, Sun and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Libra, which will happen on the 1st or 2nd, depending on your location. 2026 is going to be at 12 degrees in your second house, okay? This is the house of self-worth, possessions, and money. So here we have Libra, also ruled by Venus, right? So any imbalance in your income, okay, you're gonna work on restoring that. Okay, so there might be more income coming in. Now we do have Saturn and the Sun there in your 8th house, so it's not the best time for investments. It's a better time to earn it, but it's not a good time to do any investments unless it's really a long-term investment. Okay, we have a T-square with Jupiter. Jupiter is in the 11th house, okay, in Cancer. Now this is your friend group, so your friends might give you some ideas about money, but some of you earn a lot of money and you're also spending it, spending a lot of it, because this is what happens with the square of Jupiter. We want to indulge a little bit, we want to have fun, we want to go for dinners, spending it on communities and friends, or maybe even a house, okay, on your house. We have Mercury in the 7th house and it's trining Jupiter in the 11th. So maybe you're going to have a collaboration or a business partnership with a friend, um, or even, yeah, it could be through networking, or you could meet someone new through your friends. Okay, so keep your eyes open. However, we do have Venus in Taurus, which is strong, but it's squaring Pluto in the sixth. So here, look out for, if you're traveling, for food poisoning, okay? Because we have sixth house Pluto here. And maybe you want to change your diet according to a belief system, or according to a new study that you're doing, or new research that is, helping you decide what is a good diet for you. There could be some chaos at work, maybe because you're traveling, and, they're going to contact you even though you're away, because Virgos are needed in the work floor, right? Emotional healing. So a lot of you are working on emotional healing. Saturn in the eighth house, there with the sun in Aries season, is really all about healing insecurities when it comes to intimacy. Your identity. Maybe you feel like if you give too much away of yourself, that it's scary, maybe people will leave you or things like that. So you're restoring all those things. And here we have this new moon in Aries on the 17th of April in your eighth house. Okay. It's going to be all about transformation. And maybe some of you are going through a divorce and you need to talk about separation of finances and things like that. Okay. Take it one step at a time. Make a good plan and be patient, because it might be a long procedure. Insecurities might be coming up. If you're in a relationship, you might have some conversations that are close to the heart, and it's difficult to hear maybe, but it's going to be very, very healing on the long term. Okay. Miscommunication with third parties with money. So yeah, maybe you're on the phone with with about the electricity bills, or about your insurance, things like that. Okay, there might be some obstacles coming up there. Venus is now in its own house, in its own sign in Taurus in the ninth house. So a great time for traveling, enjoying yourself. Um, yeah, you want to learn maybe about different foods of different countries and cultures and things like that. On the 26th of April, we're going to have Uranus in the sign of um, Gemini in the 10th house. Okay. And this is pretty major, because this has to do with your purpose, your work, your bosses. Now, you can have a boss with Uranus in the 10th house that is going to be very open minded, very flexible. It's going to give you a lot of responsibility and freedom. And if that's not what you have, you probably crave that around this time. Okay. Up until May 2033, like some of you want to work remotely, want to have more freedom, maybe want to travel and work online, or just have, you don't want to have too much restriction. So you could become a freelancer, um, any science job, but you want to do research on your own terms. Okay. You're kind of becoming a rebel at work, so you might shock people sometimes with what you have to say, but also with the ideas that you have. They can be shockingly good as well. Changing work a lot is seen with this as well. Affirmations to lift up your thoughts and energy, attract with your desire. Use positive affirmations. So stay positive in the upcoming time. Also, in the month of April, it can be quite a big transformation. We don't have a lot of retrograde, so you're gonna move forward. It's just gonna be with some obstacles. Like if you're an accountant, or you're working with numbers or research, it will take a bit more time. If you're going too fast, you will see that some maybe mistakes will come up. And I know Virgo doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but we are all human, right? And yeah, so oversee what you're doing and double check your work. Okay. Um, yeah, if you have any type of operation or something, yeah, it's not the best time, I would say. If you can wait, if you have it around that time, okay, but um yeah. If you can wait until later in the month, that would be good if you still need to do any planning. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Virgos. If you want to help me expand my channel, subscribe to it. I also would like your help because I would like to make more videos. Maybe you can give me some ideas in the comment on what I can do, next. I would be thankful for that. So, yeah, thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you next time. Let's move on to Libra. So, Libra, Sun and Rising. For you, we start off right away on the 1st or 2nd of April 2026 at 12 degrees. And if you're a Libra, Sun and Rising, you're going to be highly impacted by this full moon. So here it's about your identity versus your relationship. So Libra, we're going to have this huge lesson coming up, like where there is any imbalance in you, there is an imbalance in your relationship. Or, sometimes when we change, a relationship can sometimes not work anymore, right? Or the relationship forms with you. So any kind of obstacles might be coming up, because maybe you have different boundaries, a different outlook on life, and you're going to have to communicate with your partner how you're going to see that, right? There's a square with Jupiter in the 10th house. So we have this T square, and there might be a lot of job opportunities for you, right? And this is just changing the way you see yourself. And that might change your relationship as well. Maybe you have to work more hours, or there's just a lot of work coming for you. Okay. So you're going to have to balance everything, different aspects of your life. And that's not always going to be easy, but work is definitely really well. I mean, Mercury's in the 6th house and it's trining Jupiter in the 10th. So new job opportunities, more clients, um, maybe a promotion. Like this is definitely a fantastic time for work. If you're single right now, just be very careful who you attract, because we have Venus in Taurus, which is great in your 8th house, but it's in a square with Pluto in the 5th, okay? And people might have different intentions. Like if you're looking for something solid, which I think you are with Saturn in the 7th house, if you're Libra rising, just see what this person's intention is. I'm not here to judge if you are okay with that, but if not, and be aware of someone's intention right now up until the 8th of April. There could be some love triangles or things being exposed about your relationship, okay? And I always say, if there's nothing to expose, you don't have to worry about anything. And sometimes I always say the truth always comes to the surface at some point, right? Also, yeah, there could be some custody battles or things like that, or a divorce for some of you, okay? And on the other hand, this could be leading to massive growth in relationships if it's a strong relationship. So we have this new moon in Aries, all in your 7th house, okay? And we have Saturn, we have Mars, we have Mercury, we have Neptune, all there. So there might be some miscommunication. There's definitely an emphasis here on working also in business relationships and one-on-one with clients. There might be some triggering situations that lead to a lot of growth. So can you be yourself in your relationship? These questions might be coming up this month. Like, are you fully the person you would like to be? Or are you playing a role and that role is not something that you like? Or is your partner playing a role? Are they comfortable? They could be the ones bringing things up, okay? So work wise, it's fantastic month, okay? Relationship need a bit of tweaks and a little bit of work, but it can lead to lasting improvement and massive healing of who you are in a relationship, okay? Now Venus around this new moon is in the 8th house, very strong, no more square with Pluto. So this is good for investments. There might be sudden money coming in, sudden support, insurance money coming, or being paid out, or if you're waiting for any money from third parties like tax payments, this would be the right time where that can come for you. Then we have Uranus going into your 9th house up until May 2033. Let me get a glass of water. Okay. and it's going to be in your ninth house. And this is amazing, actually, if you want to learn astrology, numerology, human design, quantum physics, things like that, right? Things that are a little bit more technical but spiritual at the same time. This is a really good time, building new platforms of communication for learning new languages. Maybe it's you who wants to learn a new language, okay? Sudden trips might be coming up in the upcoming years, okay? Suddenly, yeah, going abroad, new ways of teaching, new ways of learning. You're going to be really curious, and your view of the world is going to be a little bit out of the box, okay? You want to shock people a little bit, maybe. This is also a time where you might want to work as a flight attendant or a pilot or doing something like that, okay? But definitely a very progressive time. Let's see. Well, new career. How soothing is that? A lot of Libras are going to get a new career in the upcoming time. I'm getting winter, so maybe last winter that happened, or it's going to be next winter that's going to come. We have daughter. So maybe some of you are expecting a daughter or have a daughter. The answer to your question involves a daughter. Let's see. Patience. Be patient with her if you have a daughter, okay? Be patient with her. Yeah. Sometimes our kids are our biggest teachers, right? And with Pluto now in the fifth house, they might be triggering you sometimes, or it might be um, teaching you something, and it's hard because sometimes they're poking right into our shadow side, and that's not always easy. But kids are truly a blessing, and they can teach us many things. So, yeah, that was my message for you, my lovely Libra. And I would like to ask you if you can you can help me out because I want to make more videos, and I would like to hear some ideas from you, maybe natal placements or things that you would like me to talk about, so I can make some new videos in the upcoming time. Because I've been a little bit more introvert and not so much putting not so many videos out, but I definitely want to do some more videos. So if you could leave a comment and give me some ideas, that would be amazing. So thank you so much for being here, and until next time. Let's move on now to Scorpio. So Scorpio, Sun and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Libra that will happen on the 1st or 2nd of April, depending on your location. We have that in the 12th house. So 12th house is also just the house of resting, right? Libra is here. So this is about balancing, resting. And we have this moon, we have the sun in Aries with Saturn there in the 6th house. So you need a good routine. Maybe work is going to be very demanding in the upcoming time. Your health might be saying some things to you, okay, Scorpio, like maybe watch your health. And maybe a new routine is better. If you're overworking, you need to rest. Or if you're just resting and not working, you need to find balance there, okay? Um, Also, the 12th house is about dreams, okay? This is about your past lives. So there could be some triggers coming up regarding the imbalance of relationships in past lives. So old discomfort might be coming up and repeating itself uh, again now, because we have Venus in Taurus in your 7th house. Now, this is very strong, right? But it's in a square with Pluto. So old pains might be coming back even from the past, because the 4th house is about your family, about your past, your ancestors. So whatever insecurity might be coming up, right? It comes from the parents. And 4th house is mostly emphasis on mother's side. Okay. So if there is anything coming up, any insecurity in your relationship, maybe jealousy, or even things can be exposed as well around this time, okay? Like love triangles or cheating, things like that will come to the surface. And I always say you don't have to worry about anything, because if there's nothing below the surface, there is nothing to be exposed, right? Then it's just going to be a strengthening situation. It could be even that your mother or your family is not fully in alignment with the partner that you're with. Okay. Now we have Mercury in the fifth house of children in a trine with Jupiter in the ninth. Now this is a beautiful alignment for creative projects. This is great. Like if you're meeting someone new, okay, um, wait for, wait a little bit until you know this person after the 8th of April when Venus is out of, is not squaring Pluto anymore, because this is quite an intense situation. Could be about a living situation as well. There might be some fight with your partner, but if you're single, just be aware, okay? You could be meeting someone on a trip even. Just take it one step at a time. Pregnancy is on the cards for a lot of Scorpios as well. Let me get you a card. Travel, yes, Jupiter in the ninth house. How can I forget? This is a beautiful alignment also to travel. Now we have a new moon in Aries on the 17th of April at 27 degrees, all in your sixth house. So Scorpio, watch your health this month. Work on a good diet. Work on strengthening yourself, strengthening your body, because Aries is very active, right? But Saturn wants you to be respectful for your body. So have you been overworking, overworking out, or the other way around? Now that will be restored. So now this balance of listening to your body, okay? Because disease is usually coming up from not listening to our body enough, okay? So yeah, work might be a little bit heavy. We have this new moon in a conjunction with Chiron, so you're healing a lot of wounds regarding work and who you are and how you're seen. Like sometimes it's just the weirdest thing, right? Like we know ourselves, at least that's what we're trying to get to know ourselves. But some people might see you in a completely different way, and that comes through their own experiences and their own projections and their own fears, right? When we start to believe what other people tell you, like if a lot of people are going to say the same thing, yeah, maybe there's some truth to it. But if one person says it, you really have to think within and see if that resonates with you or not, okay? Yeah, pregnancy. What did I talk about? And vegetarian. Okay, I said it in another for another sign as well. Like you have to adjust and have a diet that is according to your body type. It's just that if you want to be on the spiritual journey, then yes, being vegetarian or eating less meat and fish is going to help because it creates less karma. And also, if you're working with your intuition, it will help you purify your thoughts. Okay. Um, but I will never judge anyone to make a certain decision. You have to listen to your body. So we have Uranus in Gemini from the 26th of April 2026 up until the 22nd of May 2033. So that's going to be a very long time. It's going to be in your eighth house. So we have the planet of sudden and unexpected events in a house of transformation. So a lot of breakthrough moments, sudden changes. You could be interested in the occult, astrology, different type of therapies you might try, and it's gonna really help you and change the way you see things. Some of you will see relationships differently. Okay, you will be maybe, and I know that's up to people. Like I said, I will not judge anything, but some people are more like want to be more open in a relationship, or they want to give each other more freedom. I always say you have to communicate with each other. It's in a sign of Gemini, so make good agreements. Not that just one of the two parties is in agreement with this, okay? Eighth house, so very good for research. If you're any kind of research field, if you're a doctor in the medical field, also a good placement if you're working with numbers or investments. But this is not long-term investments. Uranus is short-term investments, okay? Because it's coming and going very, very quickly. Yeah, pregnancy. I'm getting the same card. And then I get birthday. Okay. So for some of you, it's your birthday literally if you're Scorpio rising, it could be your birthday in April, right? Yeah, so Taurus season also is in the seventh house. So good time for relationships, but also by the end of the month, we're gonna have Pluto in the fourth house in a square with the sun in the seventh. So there's a lot of emphasis on healing relationships and healing your body. So I would say focus on healing mind, body, and soul. And also a different study. You might be studying something especially related to spirituality, related to health, and yeah, if you're moving, some of you are moving abroad with Jupiter in Cancer in the ninth house. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Scorpio. Thank you so much for being here. Now, if you could help me out, because I want to make more videos, could you let me know in the comments what videos you would like me to make about natal placement, or any ideas that you have? Please let me know in the comments so I can make them for you in the upcoming time. So thank you so much for being here, and until next time. So let's move on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have on the 1st or 2nd of April, depending on your location. This full moon in Libra is going to be in your 11th house. Now, Libra is all about balance, is all about restoring anything that is out of balance. And we have the sun in Aries in the 5th house of children, creativity, and it's squaring Jupiter in the 8th house. Okay, so here you're gonna find balance, and maybe that's not gonna work right away between your friends, because this is a time where you really want to connect with your friends, right? But if you have children or you have creative projects going on, it could be that you're needing to balance different sides of your life, okay? Different, um, yeah, you need to balance out the different areas in your life, okay? Um, you also might hear some good news about mortgage or a loan for a house, or maybe you want to do some changes in the home, because we have Jupiter in the 8th house and it's trining Mercury in the 4th. So that's definitely good news if you're waiting for a loan for a house. There could be some investments coming in or support. It could even be from family or an inheritance that's going to help you. Yeah, finding your roots, building a house, redecorating your house. Okay, Saturn in the 5th house gives some difficulty with creativity. It can give some difficulty in, maybe you used to want to do a lot of sports in your free time, and now you're just feeling like something is holding you back a little bit, okay? Because Saturn is definitely putting down the fire in Aries here, and it could be that your children need a lot more of your attention. So then we have Venus in Taurus in your 6th house, and it's in Taurus, so it's in its own sign, and it's squaring Pluto in the 3rd. So be aware of some gossip at work or with colleagues, or the things that you're saying. Okay, maybe you're saying something and it comes across the wrong way. This could be related to, yeah, colleagues or work, anything in an email that is going to be misunderstood. Now we have this placement up until the 8th of April, more or less. Okay. So what do we have here? We're having a new moon in Aries, so there's going to be a lot in the 5th house. This is bringing up some obstacles in, for example, your romantic life. Um, yeah, maybe you're seeing it more seriously. Maybe there's some miscommunication. You need to have some conversations on what makes both of you happy. What is the hobby you want to focus on? Maybe you're feeling a bit blocked. Like, I don't know what to do in my spare time. Like, I don't know what gives me joy. So this is what you're going to rediscover, okay? Also, pregnancy, be very careful. Don't overdo things. Listen to your body, listen to your belly. Um, Difficulty with children. Maybe they need more attention from you. They need more help from you than usual. Or you would have a difficult time. Maybe you have a teenager and is going through a bit of a rebellious time. Okay. But also, 5th house is your inner child. This is about healing the inner child and finding your creative expression, what makes you unique. Okay, what makes you beautiful and unique. So we have Venus in Taurus now. in the sixth house. So with Uranus, so there could be some changes in the workplace, sudden change of jobs even. Yeah, maybe a new pet as well, a sudden pet coming in your life. This is time for a nice dinner, lunch, and it might as well be that you're doing that with your colleagues and that you're just, treating yourself on a nice lunch or a nice time with colleagues together. Then we have Uranus in Gemini on the 26th of April, which is going to be your seventh house. Now, you don't have to fear this, okay? But some people say, oh, this is a scary, scary placement. But actually, no, it's just, if you're single, you're going to be attracted to more out of the box people. So they can be younger, they can be more rebellious, more open-minded. Um, and it can be really fun as well, but sometimes it can be short-lived. So just see who you're dealing with, right? And if you're already in a relationship, sometimes it's a long distance relationship, online even, or you can meet people online. Um, but or you're gonna be apart for a while. Just let each other a bit free, but you can travel even together and explore freedom together of traveling, exploring, right? Gemini is also transport, so you can do some road trips together. So it can be a really fun time, actually. Let's see. Okay. Getting let go. So maybe you're thinking about a certain situation and yeah, you're thinking about what should I do, but sometimes letting go is giving you the answer faster. When you're relaxed, like things can come to you more easily, okay? I'm getting vegetarian. Been getting that for a lot of signs, I don't know. But we have a Taurus season in the sixth house, okay? So maybe you're watching your diet. Yeah, it could be through your pregnancy, or maybe you're working on a creative project and you just want to be sharp, right? You want to feel good. And when you have a good diet and a good routine, that's really helping you to focus. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be a very progressive month, a very healing month. And definitely money could be coming in. Your family might be supporting you, or like a general investment might be coming in for you around this time. So yeah, I'm wishing you all the best the upcoming time. And also, I would like to make more videos. So if you can help me out and let me know in the comments what kind of videos you would like to see, like maybe some natal chart placements or things like that. And I would be happy to make them for you. So thank you so much, Sagittarius, and until next time. So let's go to Capricorn. Capricorn, Sun and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in the sign of Libra in your 10th house on the 1st or 2nd of April, depending on your location. It's going to be at 12 degrees. And you are really balancing work, family, and your relationship for a lot of you, okay? Or a business partnership, even because we have this T square. So we have the sun and the moon in opposition, and we have a square with Cancer in the seventh house, okay? So it might be that you're new in a relationship, it might be that, because Saturn is there in the fourth house, so family could be quite demanding. Maybe you have to take care of a family member. And fourth house is also mother, so it could be that you're taking care of your mother, or there is a cold relationship, because sometimes Saturn can restrict, but it ultimately helps you to rediscover your authenticity. Who am I? Where do I want to live? Where do I feel safe? Do I feel safe within myself? So you're going to answer all these questions now. It might literally be a new job coming in. Now, with Saturn in the fourth house, okay, it's if you want to move, just know that it can take some time, right? It can be a slow process, a more difficult process. So, usually it's not recommended to move, but if you have to, just have a lot of patience, okay? Because some of you might be moving for work. We also have Mercury in the third house in a trine with Jupiter in the seventh. So for some, there is definitely a proposal happening, more of a commitment in a relationship, okay? We have Venus in the 5th house, but it's squaring Pluto in the 2nd, okay? Could be that there is money going out, or maybe your children trying to get money out of you, okay? Just see how that goes. Also with romance, okay? There might be, um, you might be dating, and yeah, just be careful with your budget around this time. And also, Pluto square Venus brings up insecurities regarding maybe your creativity, insecurities regarding relationships, maybe even a bit of jealousy, like why are other people creative and I can't do it, or why are other people having things so easily, which in my experience is not true, because everybody has things going on behind the scenes. I'm talking with a lot of people uh for work, right, for astrology, and sometimes it looks like people have it all together, but there's always lessons to be learned, okay? And yeah, some people have it harder than others. That's true. That's simply true. um but the best is to focus and see how you can heal those wounds regarding your money and your self-worth, because Pluto is in the 2nd house, okay? And be very careful about scams. Scams of too good to be true situations, okay? Now it's time to get it out of yourself, out of your root, to find your safety. And that will help you create, yeah, so it will help you with your work. On the 17th of April, we're going to have a new moon in the sign of Aries in the 4th house. Okay. Like I said, there is a lot of emphasis on family, mother, roots. Where do I belong? Who do I belong to? What are the wounds that I still need to heal within myself, within my identity? And yeah, especially with the mother line and authenticity. Okay. Now the creative block is going to be removed, or any difficulties with children, because now the square with Pluto is past, and we have Venus very strong in a loose conjunction with Uranus. So if you're into photography or any creative, Capricorns are very creative, crafts or art, even financial luck could be coming in, okay, around this time. It's just be very careful with investments in properties and things like that. There could be some difficulty with landlords or roommates. So yeah, some miscommunications could be coming up. Then we have Uranus moving in Gemini on the 26th of April. This will last for quite some time, because it will be up until the 22nd of May 2033. On the 6th house is about your routines. And when Uranus is there, you don't want to stick too much to a routine. You want to kind of make your own schedules. So some of you will become freelancers, self-employed, or you want to work in an organization or a place where you can actually kind of decide your own schedule. Okay. Or at least not have a boss or authority figures telling you what to do. Okay. You will have lots of ideas because it's in Gemini, ruled by Mercury. So a lot of ideas will be coming up. You might be bringing a lot of great solutions in the workplace. And yeah, you might be having a lot of colleagues that are a bit more out of the box, and you're going to learn a lot from them. Now, we also could be seeing some health issues, right? Uranus is more sudden, and it's in an air sign, so it has to do with your breathing. So it could be some anxiety could be coming up, or yeah, restlessness, being very restless, and having a difficult time sticking to a schedule, like overworking, or you know, working too little one day and then doing a lot. Even switching jobs more often could happen, right? Like sometimes Uranus just wants to break free, be a rebel, and that might be that you're changing, yeah, work more often. A sudden pet that joins your life, maybe you're getting a new pet, or driving or traveling more for work. Maybe you're getting a job where you have to drive, where you have to move a lot. Okay. I'm getting flower power. Spend time with flowers. So maybe some of you Should buy some more flowers for yourself or in the home, or buy your partner some flowers. And this is gonna increase the beauty in your home, or maybe you're working with flowers even. Easy does it. Stop trying so hard to control everything, and the doors will open for you. Especially with Uranus in the sixth house, right? It's not a good time to control the outcome, to control whatever it is that needs to happen. Okay. So let it be open, let it be presented to you. And yeah, focus on your inner healing, healing with the ancestors, healing with your family, especially the maternal side needs a lot of attention. And that's going to help you heal your identity. So that's my message for you, my amazing Capricorn. I want to ask you if you could help me out, because I would like to record more videos for you in the upcoming time. I just need, uh, yeah, I need to know what people want to hear. Like, do you want more videos about natal placements? I would love to hear from you. Write it in the comments. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. And until next time, let's move on to Aquarius. So, Aquarius, Sun and Rising. We have this full moon in Libra in your fellow air sign in the ninth house on the 1st or 2nd of April, depending on your location, at 12 degrees. Now, the ninth house is all related to traveling, right? Traveling of the mind, physically traveling, and we have this full moon, right? So we have the sun in Aries in the third house, and it's in a square. So there's a T square with Jupiter in the sixth. So it might be traveling for work, or work is demanding and you still need to work when you are traveling. You could be traveling to study something, and we have Saturn in a loose conjunction with the sun here. So it could be that you need to take more time to study, okay? Maybe it's not going to go very quickly, but you need more time to um, remember things. So, or you need to do an exam again, and that's okay. Okay. This is also about justice. So it could be that there's some kind of justice, a lawsuit that is coming to an end. Most likely it's going to be good. Okay. Because even though it's a square, if you do good research or you're well prepared and you plan what you're going to say, that's really going to help you, especially if this is a lawsuit related to your day-to-day routines. We have Mercury in the second house in a trine with Jupiter in the sixth. So you might get an increase in your salary, a new job, new clients coming in for you. But also watch out for a bit of self-indulgence, because there are two placements that can expand the body a little bit. That would be Jupiter in the first and Jupiter in the sixth, and especially in a sign like Cancer, which is related to your emotions. So emotional eating. Okay, let me drink some water. Been talking for a while already. We also have Venus in Taurus in the fourth house, which is in a square with Pluto in the first. So a lot of healing, like you are transforming your identity, Aquarius. And that could lead to changes in the family, or even changes to your living situation. Maybe you're moving because of that, right? Like I changed, and when you change, everything else changes, right? When your first house, your identity is different, the rest of the circle is going to move along. Okay, so there will be big changes happening for you. Difficulty with family. Maybe you're like, what is going on with Aquarius? It's changing so much. Okay. Yeah, that might have to do also with a new study. Um, that you want to do, and that leads to different kind of job. We have a new moon in Aries on the 17th of April in your third house, so a lot of emphasis on communication. Okay, and there could be some miscommunication happening as well, because this new moon is in a conjunction with Chiron, but also we have Saturn, Mars, Neptune, and Mercury all in the third house. Okay, so prepare before you speak. Take your time when you need to learn, okay? There might be some insecurities coming up, like, I don't know how to say things. Like, some of you will just stay quiet completely because you feel like what I have to say is not valuable. you find it hard to find the right words, or you might be overly speaking, okay? Which also leads to miscommunication. So prepare your emails before you send them. If you do a lot of communication at work, prepare what you're going to say. That is really going to help you, because Aries usually is just flowing, right? It just wants to talk in the moment. But with Saturn here in the upcoming time, it's better to prepare. If you're doing any kind of short trip, there might be some delays, or it's not going completely as planned, okay? It might be slower than you think it would be. Now, Venus is not in a square with Pluto here anymore, so that's very positive. Good time to buy some nice things for in the home. Yeah, maybe you're moving or just want to cook a meal for yourself and have a bit of a relaxing time, okay? Uranus is in the fifth house, so it's a great time. It's going to be there up until May 2033. And the fifth house is great for creativity with Uranus, especially if you're into like photography, if you're a designer, if you're into coding, you know, if you love to write, you're going to have so many ideas. Just be careful, because this is also sudden pregnancy, okay? So protect yourself well if that's not what you want. You could be more into dating, like, having fun with it, enjoying, and you could be attracted to people that are a little bit more out of the box. I mean, Uranus is your sign, right? And you're pretty open-minded and pretty inclusive. Great time to interact with your children, have a good time with them, do some fun stuff. They might be more interested in technology as well. Like, things are going to go really fast when it comes to technology. So I'm getting business venture. Okay, so some of you are going to make your creativity your business venture. I'm getting debt paid off. Okay. So we do have the South Node there in your eighth house. So some of you are working really hard with the North Node in the second house to pay off debts. It could also be karmic debts, okay? Karma. And same thing. South Node in the eighth house is um, gonna let go of a lot of karma, right? Maybe the need to have things under control. And maybe it's time to just let go and let things flow the way they should be. And then I get winter. So this winter was life changing for you, or the upcoming winter, okay? You could be someone that likes winter. Okay, we're getting holiday and get some exercise, okay? So do some exercises, and even if you're going on a holiday, for some of you, if you're traveling, like a lot of Aquarius will be traveling this month, but yeah, it's time to make your body stronger, okay? You don't have to over exercise. You can just walk. 6,000 water, likes to swim as well, likes to dance. It's a flowy energy. Okay, so that was my message for you, my amazing Aquarius. If you want to help me, because I want to record some more videos in the upcoming time, so maybe you can help me and let me know some recommendations or things that you want to hear, natal placements or some ideas. And I would love to hear from you, and I can make videos about that. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. All the best to you, my lovely Aquarius, and until next time. Let's move on to Pisces. So Pisces, Sun and Rising. We're starting off with the full moon in Libra in your eighth house. Okay, it's going to be at 12 degrees and 21 minutes. And eighth house is about transformation. And Libra doesn't like transformation. Libra likes to be balanced. Okay, so here you're seeing transformations in relationships. Maybe you're gonna do some research in certain investments, okay? But Saturn is there with the sun in your second house. So this is about hard work when it comes to earning money. Okay, maybe you want to earn money and lay the focus on the eighth house, like doing, like I said, certain investments. You might start a joint bank account or a joint venture with your partner. Um, so your money is being a bit either restricted, or you're going to have to work quite hard to make the money that you want. But the lesson is here to appreciate it, right? Because sometimes when we are restricted of something and then it suddenly happens, we're going to so appreciate it. Okay. Now, the good thing is Jupiter is in the fifth house, a house of romance, house of children, in a trine with Mercury in the first. So, beautiful conversations with a partner. Maybe you're meeting someone new and you're going to start off having beautiful conversations together that might make you connect. You can make your dreams happen, your creative projects that you're going to work on, pregnancy, all these things are on the cards for my amazing Pisces. We also have Venus, though, up until the 8th. Venus in the 3rd is squaring Pluto in the 12th. So watch out with communication. Maybe some, you know, obstacles might be coming up with your siblings, and it could be related to past lives or even the past. Things that come up that are bothering you or bothering your sibling or even your neighbors. Okay, there could be some um, miscommunication or some gossip going on in the neighborhood that you didn't know actually was going on. So on the 17th of April, we're going to have a new moon in Aries, which is going to be in your second house. Here, you're going to have a lot of lessons regarding your self-worth. What are you worthy of? Um, how do you value yourself? What are your prices when it comes to your work? Okay. What are you going to do with your possessions? Maybe you want to sell some of your furniture. Do you need all that stuff? So, maybe you want to be more minimalistic. There could be some miscommunication with money. Maybe someone forgetting to pay you, or you forgetting to pay them. Okay, so keep an eye on your money. Venus is in a conjunction with Uranus now, loose conjunction, and Venus is not in a square anymore. So here your communication is definitely stronger again, very soothing. You will have brilliant ideas coming up regarding communication or studying, or if you're doing any type of research, you will have lots of ideas. Also, good time for buying a new car. On the 26th of April, we're going to have Uranus moving in the sign of Gemini. So, this is a huge shift. And in the fourth house, you're going to have this kind of unsettling feeling in the home place. You're going to feel a bit restless. Like Uranus likes the unexpected. So it could literally be that some of you are going to live in a van, okay? Because Gemini rules third house of transportation and movement. So living out like a life that is more out of the box, like very off the grid or very technological house with all this technology in it. Yeah, feeling a bit restless at home. So you could be working from home, which is good, but it could be that you're gonna start think a lot when you're yeah, when you're in a home. Maybe you want to share it with other people, like doing some kind of co-living. Um, yeah, sudden events. So you might be moving homes more often and also seeing your family more as your friends, okay? Because it rules the 11th house, Uranus. So you could be seeing, especially your mom. So we're getting pregnancy, which is very related to Jupiter in the fifth house, but also creative projects that are being born. We have spiritual teacher here. So some of you are becoming spiritual teachers, or you're having a spiritual teacher that is helping you to progress and, you know, choose wisely when you choose a spiritual teacher. I mean, usually the ones that have a lot of ego, right? And you can tell when you look at um how much money they're asking and what they're focusing on. Are they just focusing on money and who they hang out with? So just have a look, listen to your intuition, deep within, and always choose someone that wants to empower you and doesn't want you to be dependent on them. That's not healthy. We all have our own souls in our body. We shouldn't be dependent on someone. And then I have vegetarian. So you might want to have a look at your diet and see what needs to be changed, because the second house can sometimes relate also to, you know, uh, not eating in a proper way. And sometimes because of self-worth, restricting dinners or restricting food. So make sure to be gentle with yourself and because Taurus is the sign of food, right? So be gentle with your food and make it soothing, and you're going to feel a lot better. Okay. Like sometimes it's not about having the ideal body, it's about having an internal body that is working with you. That is most important, right? Because if your health is not there, everything else is, will be, you can't do anything if you're not healthy. It's so, so important. So, yeah, that would be my message for you. Now, if you want to support my channel, subscribe to it. And also, I would love to know, because I want to make more videos, what kind of videos you want to see, like maybe some natal placements that I can explain for you. So write it in the comments. And yeah, because I want to make more videos in the upcoming time. So thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate you, Pisces, and I wish you a lovely month of April. Many blessings to you.